If there's something that could not be explained by natural forces, even in principle, that would disprove naturalism. And C.S. Lewis thinks that there is something like that, something that we observe as a real feature of the world that could never possibly be explained by purely natural forces. And that is the existence and reliability of human reason. We know that reason must be reliable. After all, everything that we hold to be true, we hold on the promise that reason is reliable. If it turns out that reason was not a good source of knowledge, then we wouldn't be able to obtain knowledge. It's totally illogical to accept any argument that leads to the conclusion that reason itself is unreliable. Because if reason isn't trustworthy, nothing is. But naturalism, Lewis argues, does exactly that. It destroys the reliability of reason. After all, doesn't naturalism claim that all of our thoughts are totally reducible to brainwaves inside our heads, which are themselves caused by other blind physical processes inside and outside us? According to naturalism, you can totally answer the question of why do I think this by pointing to physical biological factors. Why do I think it's raining outside? Well, because my ears hear a sound, which triggers a series of electrical signals in my nervous system, which ended in my brain being told it's raining outside. But during no part of this process did I use reason to deduce it was raining. I just had a series of physical causes play out inside of me that ended with me having a thought. As Lewis points out, physical causes for thinking something and reason are wholly distinct. To point to a physical cause for a belief is to cast doubt on its rationality. When we say things like, you only think that because that's how you grew up, or you're only angry right now because you're hungry, we're recognizing the internal conflict inherent between physical explanations for events and reason. Insofar as how you grew up or the fact that you're hungry is an explanation for your belief, reason is not. But if physical factors like how you grew up and your eating habits can fully explain every little part of why you think what you think, then there's no room for reason to do anything to explain your thoughts. And if that's the case, then the conclusions that you have in your head are unreliable, because they came not from syllogisms and logic, but from biological factors like what you had for breakfast. And if that's the case, all rational conversation is null and void. And that conclusion is absurd. As we've already said, you can't give a rational argument to undermine reason without shooting yourself in the foot. So if the position that says that only the natural world exists leads to the conclusion that reason is unreliable, we just have to abandon the idea that only the natural material world exists. There must be something more than natural material causes which are responsible for our rational activities, for our thoughts. That's the only way to explain how reason could be a reliable source of knowledge.